Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück bei einer neuen Folge Vampyr mit dem toten Ikor vor den Füßen. Hatte der noch was? Das klingt ja furchtbar, ey. Der verunstaltete Skull. So, hier gibt's nichts mehr. Doch, hier ist noch eine Mülltonne. Da finden wir einen Schilling und eine Schraube. Zugdampf. Wahrscheinlich genau da lang. Na super. Kriege ich die Tür auf?
It's locked.
Nein, ich muss noch weiter außen rum. Gut zu wissen. Protein und 3 Schillinge. Was machen die Schillinge in der Arztkiste? Und 2 Glasviolen. Das kann ich schon eher nachvollziehen. Ich muss ja richtig weit außen rum. Aha, von dieser Seite kann ich es jetzt aufmachen. Gut zu wissen. Hier noch irgendwas? Nö. Keine Ahnung, worum es diesen Gang gibt, aber hier liegt auch nichts, was ich brauche. Da drüben vielleicht? Nö. Nur Aluholflaschen.
The West End. Never have I felt so sad to be back home.
Oh. Eine Leiter. Können wir jetzt ins Wasser? Das Wasser sieht voll gefroren aus übrigens. Ich muss in die Richtung. Das ist schon wichtig.
Stupid beast! Pay for this!
Vielen Dank auch. Ja, also langsam sollte ich mal wieder jemanden aussaugen. Die werden langsam stärker, die Gegner. Hatte der auch noch was für mich? Jawohl. Von hier kam ich ja. Huch. Ich muss mal ganz kurz. So. Nee. Ist ja immer noch da. Wo habe ich denn jetzt eine Markierung gemacht? Hier. So. Alles klar. Der hat Spaß auf jeden Fall.
It's locked, all right.
Da bin ich auf eine Art froh. Da ist eine Frau.
The Ascalon Club. The heart of British vampire society. Not quite as subtle as I expected.
Hallo.
Good evening, miss.
Oh my god, no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't kill me. Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much to offer this world.
Wait, no. Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reid. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury. My
Aha.
mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young Econs. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte.
Leben in London. Erzählen Sie mir von der Nachbarschaft.
What do you think about this part of town?
I was raised here, and I suppose it feels like home. You grew up in this part of town too, did you not?
Ja, ich wurde hier geboren.
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time? That you could have met her in a dark alley at night?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reid?
Alter Mädchen.
Is there something that's bothering you?
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste. Even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable institutions are financed by the selfish and filthy rich.
I suppose you're right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all done for.
Okay. Über ihre Adoption.
Tell me about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
Wer sind ihre wahren Eltern? Wie sind sie Lady Ashbury begegnet? Wer sind ihre
Who are
wahren
your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life. I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see? And one day, I'll have my death to face.
Wie sind sie Lady Ashbury begegnet?
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Econ, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
Okay. Was machen Sie hier?
What are you doing out here?
You mean, what do I do outside at night since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually, yes. I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
Sind Sie eine Suffragette? Wie reagieren die Bürger? Sind Sie eine Suffragette?
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia. But women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time. Even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
Wie reagieren die Bürger?
How are the locals reacting to your claims?
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town. That's how progressive they are. If this happens, Emily and I will blow it up.
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reid. And please, don't tell my mother.
Achso, Moment, was wissen Sie über mich?
What exactly has your mother told you about me?
Your name and profession, obviously. And the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir. Mother says it was not your fault.
Does it not scare you to know what I am? What your mother is?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman. Must I be wary of her, Dr. Reid? Or you?
Vielleicht.
Perhaps it's wise for a mortal never to totally trust a vampire. Your mother herself told me that we Ekon are creatures of deception. Maybe it's because we seem so alive.
That may be true for a naive girl, but I have the best teacher when it comes to getting rid of an insistent immortal.
Your mother is not like any other vampire I've met.
I believe she thinks the same about you, Dr. Reid.
Gut, persönliche Fragen. Warum hat sie Lady Ashbury adoptiert?
Do you know why Lady Ashbury chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted others before me. If so, where are they buried? How is it for them to pass through life with a never-aging mother?
Okay.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Okay. Da kann ich nicht rein. Das heißt, ich habe jetzt als Nebenmission, ich soll diese Scarlet finden.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Good evening, sir. May I have your attention, please?
Come on, Johnny. Don't you recognize your oldest friend?
Clarence. Clarence Crossley. How are you? My God. So you survived the war too. So sorry I didn't recognize you at first.
I almost didn't recognize you either. War does that to men, I heard. In my case, it was true, for I witnessed the horror that lies underneath.
Wann bist du zurück nach London gekommen?
When did you escape the war and return to London?
You know what's funny? I almost never think about the war. Not anymore. I'm involved in another kind of battle now.
Ich denke auch nicht darüber nach, was für eine Schlacht führst du. Was für eine Schlacht.
What is this new battle?
I saw terrible things during the war. Horrors I thought I'd forget. They're here too. They're everywhere. Vampires.
I know what you mean. I haven't had much time to think about the war either since my return.
Of course. With the epidemic, I bet you've been busy as well. Forgive me, Johnny, I didn't want to sound selfish.
Persönliche Frage? Wie geht's deiner Frau?
How is your wife, Venus?
We've spent so much time away from each other. And so many things have happened.
Aber du bist am Leben.
But you're alive. You returned in one piece and you have a family. How many soldiers can say the same?
Believe me, it's not quite that simple.
Sorry.
Unlike you, I'm not the man I used to be.
Hast du Ärger zu
Is
Hause?
everything all right at home? Surely Venus was relieved to see you return from France in one piece.
Have you forgot what people are like in this part of town, Johnny? Venus fears for our family reputation. Now her husband has become the village idiot.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
Women! Women of all countries unite! Women die too in this war!
Hallo.
Good evening, sir. Please forgive me for disturbing you. I'm a doctor.
I never judge a man by his title, but by his attitude. And you are not disturbing me at all. I am Calhoun Russell, and I welcome you.
Well, I must admit it's good to receive a warm welcome for once. I'm Jonathan Reid.
Welcome, Dr. Reid. Welcome to my humble shop.
Ihr Leben in London. Erzählen Sie mir von der Nachbarschaft.
How is the situation in this part of town?
Life is good and peaceful. We're lucky to live in such an era of progress and wonders.
Are you not concerned about the epidemic?
Oh, I'm sure the authorities would take the appropriate measure if the danger were that high.
Es ist falsch. Seien Sie nicht naiv. Sind Sie so blind? Seien Sie nicht naiv.
You cannot expect the newspapers to expose the truth while the war is still raging. I can assure you that the situation here is desperate.
Well, that's news then. But I can't believe that things are that bad. Are you sure you're not exaggerating a bit? For the thrill of it?
Ist hier irgendwas Interessantes passiert?
What can you tell me about this place?
I recently found the best steak and kidney pie in the city. I'd be glad to share the address if you want.
Ist Essen alles, was Sie interessiert? Ich habe spezielle Vorlieben.
I must confess, I have quite specific tastes when it comes to nutrition.
Really? Well, I'm always happy to try new exotic meals. If you ever find an intriguing table, please share the address.
Finding a good restaurant? Is that really all that interests you?
Oh, I have many passions, but nothing brings me ecstasy like subtle and exquisite flavors from my teeth to my belly.
Aha. Und Ihr Laden noch so spät geöffnet?
Is it not a little too late to be trading?
On the contrary, it is the perfect hour. Believe me, my friend, it is always at night that you meet the most fascinating characters.
Ist es nicht gefährlich?
But what about the epidemic? The bombs and raids? And all the random violence?
Please, sir, this is London, England. We will prevail. And if a bomb must fall on my shop, then I'll be there to hear it falling.
Ach Gott. Sie bevorzugen das nächtliche Leben?
So you prefer to work at night?
Oh, I also enjoy a sunny day like everybody else. But the night always has a certain je ne sais quoi of its own.
Je ne sais pas. Lebt Ihre Familie in der Nähe?
Do you have any family nearby?
Not since my parents died. I'm London's lone gourmet.
Sind Sie einsam?
Really? But you seem to be such a pleasant and sociable fellow.
I'm afraid the real hedonist has to be sometimes. I discovered ecstasy as a solitary pleasure, but it does not mean it can't ever be shared.
Londons einsamer Feinschmecker?
London's lone gourmet. What a strange title.
I used that name in my early years when I was a food critic, and I kept it.
Okay.
I may have a look at your goods, Mr. Russell.
Erstmal alles kaufen, was geht. Wir müssen ja auch immer Tränke herstellen. Oh, das hier brauchte ich tatsächlich für irgendwas. Super, und jetzt kann ich auch noch was verkaufen hier. Den benutze ich ja sowieso nicht. Benutze ich auch nicht. Alberts Revolver habe ich auch noch nie benutzt. Ich habe bessere Waffen. So.
Support the equality between men and women.
Moment.
Die too in this war.
It's locked.
Ach, schade. Okay, den muss ich also irgendwann wegschnabulieren für den Schlüssel. Ich glaube kaum, dass er mir den so gibt. Guck mich mal um, ob hier noch mehr Leute sind, so wie der da. Dann machen wir diese Folge einfach wieder eine Quatsche-Folge. Hallo.
Good evening, old chap.
Achso,
Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not a well man.
kann ich Ihnen helfen? Behandlung gegen Migräne, komm.
Do you need medical assistance, Clarence?
It's a little late for visiting hours, don't you think?
Komm hier.
What can I say? I haven't lost my old habits.
I hope we're talking about the same habits, old friend.
Okay, da ging nichts mehr, aber ich
You
hab
need
mir-
some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
Guti, guti. Und es scheint doch ein wenig kühl zu sein. Da habe ich mich wohl vertan mit, ist es doch gar kein Winter. Ich dachte, die Tür hat geleuchtet. Habe ich mich wohl vertan. Einen Moment, ich muss mal eben kurz hier wieder... Ah, hier, so. Jetzt sind die Markierung auf.
Don't let any strangers come into your house.
Da blinkert noch was. Ja, Quarantäne, Pipapo. Tür mal aufgemacht hier. Das Schild ist dasselbe. Was ist das? Soll das der Tod sein, der sich hier hochschlängelt? Ich habe keine Ahnung. Das sind komische Laternen. Eastern House, Dawson und Dawson.
They're all around you.
Tja, dann weißt du nicht, dass dein bester Freund mittlerweile auch ein Vampir ist anscheinend. Hier sieht aus, als können wir da noch mal rein.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Jonathan, is that you? I did not know you were back in London. Oh, my dear Johnny, I'm so sorry for your loss. Mary was such a sweetheart.
Thank you, Venus. May I come in?
I was going to bed, actually.
Anschrift 4 benötigt, okay.
Forgive me. With the epidemic, I tend to forget people are supposed to sleep at night.
I'll tell you what. Come back tomorrow for tea. I'll be glad to see you then.
Ich glaube nicht, dass da was wird. Morgen früh zum Tee. Ah, ich weiß nicht. Sieht ein bisschen schlecht aus. So. Erst noch morgens und dann auch noch zum Tee. Ah, ich weiß nicht. Royal Garden Hall Theater. Clyde Fitch präsentiert Doris Fletcher Saft. Klingt ein bisschen wie Trafo. Der Mann, der tot war. Der Mann, der tot war mit Doris Fletcher, Archie Noel und Simon Bells. Ich kenne Simon Bellet, aber okay. Startet am 14. März, letzte Vorstellung um 18 Uhr. Am 18. Mai 1913. New Venus Theatre, White Care Street, London. White Care? Ja, nee, White Acre Street. Kann das nicht aussprechen, sorry. Hallo?
Good evening, miss. Can I help you? I'm a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reid.
I I am Karina Billow. I don't need any doctor. The rats. Where are the rats?
Miss, you don't seem well at all. Are you afraid of rats? Has one bitten you?
No, it's me who bites them. Tasty, juicy, disgusting rats. I can't stop eating them. Help me, please. Help me to disobey the voice.
Ja. Es sagt schon alles über ihren Charakter aus. Was ist mit ihnen geschehen?
What happened to you?
The rats. The answer hides in their little crunchy bones. Their juicy, tiny brains.
Miss Billow, please, try to concentrate. Why do you worry about rats so much?
The voice in my head. He forces me to do so. Drink their blood, he said. Eat their flesh.
Fühlen sich gezwungen zu gehorchen?
Do you feel compelled to obey that voice, Miss Billow? Even if you're loath to submit to it?
Yes. Please. Help.
Erzählen Sie mir von der Stimme in Ihrem Kopf.
Tell me about the voice in your head. Who is it? Can you describe it? Is it someone you know? Someone you met?
Keep your mouth shut, he said. Don't ever speak about me or I'll abandon you. Help me, please, Doctor.
All klar. Erzählen Sie mir von sich.
Tell me about yourself, Miss Billow. What do you do for a living?
Oh, I'm hungry. Need to eat. Have you got something for me? Blood, perhaps? Can you give me blood, Dr. Reid?
Don't you remember who you are, miss? What you did for work?
I was strong, proud. I campaigned for good causes. But that was before. It does not matter anymore. I'm so hungry.
Erzählen Sie mir von der Nachbarschaft.
What is the local news hereabouts, Miss Billow?
Shadows. Shadows hunting shadows. Whispers in the dark. Pestilence. Suffering. Death.
Okay, persönliche Fragen? Hinweis benötigt.
I must go now. Goodbye, Miss Billow.
Aha, Freiwillige für die Rüstungsindustrie Hand in Hand. Noch heute unterstützt die Männer an der Front mit ausreichend Munition. Ihr werdet gut verdienen. An die Fließbänder und versorgt die Fronten. Oh nee, ich wollte nicht in die Kanalisation. Meine Nase juckt. Ich möchte da bitte doch mal wieder raus. Gut, jetzt bin ich wieder im Westend.
It's locked.
Ich wollte auch die Kiste haben, wenn ich nochmal was egal. Gut. Ich würde sagen, dann sehen wir uns in der nächsten Folge hier wieder. Bis zur nächsten Folge. Tschüss.